We are here with Laiatu Latu out of UCLA, an edge rusher, but also much more than that. Incredibly excited about being in the Combine, Rick. I've never seen someone so excited about the opportunity here. He said he's had a ton of interviews already. And Laiatu, we were talking before we started, and I didn't know this because I'm not as smart as Rick, but when you were at Washington before you transferred to UCLA, you played with Puka Nacua, you played with Trent McDuffie. Are you at all surprised at the success those guys have had so early on in their NFL careers?
I'm not surprised at all. I mean, they were always the one to do extra work and, put in that time and effort. And, I took after that. And, coming into that class, we wanted to be the best class coming out of UW. And, sad like that COVID year happened and stuff like that. But things happen, life happened. And I love to see them, still chasing their dreams and living out their dreams.
They're doing fantastic.
Yeah.
All right, we have to ask the tough question because you're going to get asked 1,000 times. You could probably already have your rehearsed answer.
Yeah.
But just with the transferring from Washington, everybody knows about the medical, and then coming down to UCLA, getting cleared down there and having the year you had, and that's probably may determine whether you're the first edge rusher off the board or the second or the third, but there's two, in my opinion, big three, and you're one of those big three. But how has it been down here trying to get through all those medicals, and can you kind of go through all that you had to go through from making the decision to try to come back and play?
Yeah. I mean, being told like you never be able to play football again, it's, I feel like I almost lost my heart and stuff like that because football has been in me since the age of 6, and being told that like get you down, but I never steered from the path. I always kept working my pass rush game, and I told myself that I'd be playing football again. And out here it hasn't been hard at all. The medicals, a lot of people been stuck in the medicals longer than me, so I got
that's
some time
either a really good sign or a really bad sign.
Yeah, no, exactly right. Yeah.
So we talked a lot about you in the fall. We do a draft podcast as well. And who's the first game of the season?
It was, I believe, Coastal Carolina.
Coastal Carolina, and I asked that because Rick's comment at the time in September when we talked about that game, he goes, this is teaching tape in terms of how dominant you were in that game. And that went over the course of the entire season. And then, and Rick's an old school guy, you might not know that look at him, but the fact that you showed up at the Senior Bowl, the fact that you practiced 2 days, you had the leg injury the last day.
Yeah, it was like a quad contusion. They told me just stay off of it.
You were dominating the first 2 days. So
I appreciate that.
Checked every box along the way, and I think you played at a high level. How important was it for you to go to the Senior Bowl and perhaps differentiate yourself even more?
I mean, it was very important, especially everything that I went through, just to show people that, I love football, I love what I'm doing, and I wouldn't pass up a moment to compete.
Oh, you did it, and Rick, I imagine you're pretty excited about that.
Yeah, no, it was a guy, another checked the box, and when he was talking, when you watch your tape, and I was going to ask you, you are just so polished with how you use your hands as a pass rusher. Everybody sees the bend, the burst, the explosion, but the technique with your hands, where did you learn that, or have you been working on that for a long time?
I got to give credit to guys like Joe Tryon, Levi Onwezurike, who are in the league now, Josiah Bronson, and they kind of took me under their wing when I was at Washington and helped me a lot. But through that time when I wasn't playing football, I kind of locked in and kind of really learned pass rush on my own. And Von Miller says you got to keep 3 moves in your bag, and I'd go out every day on the field and continuously work my hands and anything that I can do.
Why should you be the number 1 edge rusher off in this year's draft?
I mean, my versatility speaks for itself. I can drop into coverage. I can rush the passer very well, and I led college football and TFLs as well, so I can play the run. And there's no problem with that.
And also say you got a very high motor. Tell people that too. Like you don't quit.
Yes, sir. I mean, going through what I went through and being told you never be able to play football again, I kind of took the saying "like your last" to heart.
Yeah.
And I'd write it on the top of my notes, going into even the classroom, in the meetings, and just really reminding me every little thing that I do it like your last. And I take that into football and every play, every snap.
It shows up on every play. Did you want to ask one more thing, Rick?
No. One other quick thing here before we go. When you go into these night meetings with these teams, what is the biggest thing that you think you need to work on, or what the teams are telling you what you need to work on?
Really not be so nervous. I mean, that first meeting 2 days ago, I was like sweating bullets, and he had to tell me, don't be so nervous. It's good. Just be yourself, and that kind of helped. That really helped me.
So nothing on the field, just you get a little nervous?
I get really nervous talking to people and stuff like that. It helped, though, and this helps, too.
Oh, you're doing great. I would have no idea if you're nervous.
I get
here.
nervous, too, especially talking with him. He makes me very nervous.
Yeah. What are you laughing at?
No.
Let me ask you this.
Please, just laugh at him.
The first 2 days of practice at the Senior Bowl, who was the toughest matchups that you'd go against either one-on-one or in team drills in terms of offensive linemen?
Yeah, I think Taliesin, I played him during that season, too, and he's just a great athlete. I mean, super big and can move his feet and well with his hands, so I think he's like one of the best tackles coming out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Rick, you want to ask a social media question?
No, you go ahead and ask your social media question.
Here's the social media team wants me to ask you. Who's your football GOAT?
Max Crosby. I mean.
Oh, okay, that's a good one.
I mean, I watch him all the time, and I think he plays with that like your last motor, and
absolutely.
Yeah.
You want to ask your question?
Yeah,
Rick?
no. The one question I would say, I asked a couple of teams, and they always ask when you go in these meetings, are they not asking you who's your GOAT?
I mean, they're definitely asking me. I mean, I grew up watching Troy Polamalu. I think that's a lot of people.
We're 2 for 2 on Troy. Marshawn Nealon was up here a moment ago, and he said Troy was his guy too. That's great.
The way he played the game too, diving after every ball, jumping over the line of scrimmage.
So you guys were little too, because Troy came out in 2003.
Yeah, I was little watching that.
Yeah,
dude.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm a rep guy, so I need to learn. So I have to ask you this question for social media, which is a big part of CBS and CBS Network.
Yeah.
What is your favorite? Is it a favorite emoji?
Emoji, he got it. Which one do you use most often?
Which one do I use most often?
Can you have a favorite, or is there one you use the most often?
It could be probably both. We'll see what
it's definitely the laughing emoji. I mean, I'm always laughing with whoever I'm talking to. I mean, I'm constantly using that. No, I mean, not funny in a bad way, but you guys are very, very funny with talking, and it's very comfortable. Yeah.
All right, Laiatu, we'll let you get back to serious business here. We appreciate a couple minutes here with Laiatu Latu out of UCLA, and Rick and I agree. Top 15 pick all day long, right, Rick?
Yeah, I'm anxious to see what he does at the. You're working out, I'm assuming.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Okay, one last thing before we go. What are you going to run? Do you think?
I want to run a sub 4.7.
Okay.
Yes,
all right. We got a new leaderboard, Rick.
Okay.
Got someone at the top of the leaderboard. Laiatu, thank you so much. Great week this week. Good luck to you next year in the NFL.
Thank you very much. Thank you.